Red crewmate stares at his reflection in the bathroom mirror. His simple red suit suddenly feels wrong and inadequate compared to others. Blue shows off his new golden visor to impressed crewmates. Red watches from the corner, feeling invisible and unworthy of attention. Green posts perfect task completion photos on the ship's social board. Other crewmates gather around, praising his flawless performance and efficiency. Yellow laughs loudly at popular jokes in the cafeteria crowd. Red forces a fake smile, pretending to understand humor that feels foreign to him. Purple displays expensive suit modifications and rare accessories proudly. The other crewmates admire his wealth while Red hides his basic appearance. Orange organizes exclusive parties for the cool crewmates only. Red stands outside the locked door, hearing laughter and feeling completely excluded. White criticizes Red's simple task methods in front of everyone. Red's confidence crumbles as others nod in agreement with the harsh judgment. Pink shares stories of her exciting adventures and achievements. Red realizes his own life feels boring and meaningless in comparison to hers. Cyan demonstrates advanced skills that everyone considers essential and normal. Red struggles with basic tasks, feeling stupid and hopelessly behind everyone. Brown talks about his perfect family and successful career. Red's own struggles and failures feel like shameful secrets he must hide forever. Red begins changing his appearance to match popular trends. His original personality slowly disappears beneath layers of desperate social conformity and pretense. The mirror shows a stranger wearing Red's suit now. His authentic self has been completely erased by the relentless pressure to fit in. Red practices fake conversations and forced laughter alone nightly. Every social interaction becomes a carefully rehearsed performance, hiding his true feelings. Other crewmates praise Red's improvement and newfound popularity enthusiastically. But Red feels emptier and more lost than ever before in his life. Red's old interests and hobbies are abandoned completely. Everything he once loved now seems childish and embarrassing compared to trendy activities. The ship's social hierarchy becomes Red's only reality. His worth depends entirely on others' approval and his position in the popularity rankings. Red can no longer remember who he was. His original dreams and personality have been sacrificed for temporary social acceptance. The other crewmates move on to new trends. Red desperately chases each change, never feeling secure or genuinely accepted by anyone. Red sits alone in his quarters, surrounded by. His pursuit of social standards has left him more isolated than ever. The spaceship continues its journey through endless darkness. Red exists as an empty shell, having lost himself completely to society's impossible expectations. Red crewmate enters the school cafeteria, carrying his lunch tray with trembling hands, looking around nervously for somewhere safe to sit. Blue and green crewmates whisper together at their table, pointing at Red and laughing cruelly while other students pretend not to notice the harassment. Red sits alone in the corner, his food untouched, as tears fall into his lunch tray while the bullies continue their relentless mockery. Yellow crewmate approaches Red's table, but quickly walks away when Blue gives him a threatening stare, abandoning Red to face the torment alone. The cafeteria grows darker as Red's isolation deepens, shadows creeping across the walls while other students become faceless, silent observers of cruelty. Blue crewmate knocks Red's books from his hands in the hallway, papers scattering everywhere as students step over them without helping. Red crawls on the floor collecting his homework, his visor cracking slightly as Blue's friends join in, kicking his scattered belongings around. In the bathroom, Red hides in a stall while Blue and Green bang on the door, their voices echoing menacingly through the empty space. Red's reflection in the mirror shows his once bright red color fading to a dull gray, his spirit slowly being drained by constant harassment. The school bell rings but sounds distorted and ominous as Red walks through hallways that seem to stretch endlessly before him. Other crewmates turn their backs when Red approaches, their faces becoming blank and emotionless as they choose silence over standing up for him. Red's backpack is thrown into the trash by Purple crewmate, while teachers look the other way, pretending not to see the obvious bullying. The classroom becomes a nightmare as Red's desk is covered in cruel drawings and hurtful words written by his tormentors during lunch. Red tries to speak to the teacher, but his voice makes no sound, his words trapped inside while the bullies smirk knowingly. The playground transforms into a prison as Red is surrounded by his tormentors, their shadows growing larger and more threatening with each passing moment. Red's lunch money is stolen again, his empty pockets a reminder that even basic needs become weapons in the hands of bullies. The school nurse's office becomes Red's only refuge, but even there he can hear the bullies' laughter echoing through the thin walls. Red stares at his phone, seeing cruel messages and embarrassing photos shared by his classmates, the digital harassment following him home relentlessly. The final bell rings as Red walks home alone, his footsteps heavy with despair while his tormentors celebrate another day of cruelty. Red sits in his room, staring at the wall as his bright red color completely fades to black, consumed by the dark. Red crewmate stares at his family photo with trembling hands while completing routine maintenance tasks aboard the lonely spaceship. His wife's beautiful smile haunts him constantly as he fixes electrical wires in the dark, cold corridors of the vessel. Blue notices Red talking to himself about his daughter's 7th birthday party that he missed while being in space last year. The empty cafeteria feels unbearably lonely as Red remembers warm family dinners around the kitchen table back on Earth. Green finds Red crying silently in storage while holding a colorful child's drawing that he keeps hidden in his pocket. Red's hands shake uncontrollably as he recalls his young son's first steps that he never witnessed due to this mission. The medical bay scanner shows Red's dangerously elevated stress levels from painful family memories constantly surfacing in his troubled mind. Yellow discovers Red has been secretly writing heartfelt letters to his family that he knows he'll never be able to send. Red sees his beloved wife's face in every reflection on the ship's cold metallic surfaces throughout the endless corridors. The oxygen garden with its green plants reminds Red of his backyard, where his children used to play happily together. Purple watches in horror as Red destroys his family photos in a desperate attempt to forget the overwhelming emotional pain. Red's golden wedding ring feels heavier with each passing day in the cold, endless void of space far from home. The communication room becomes Red's personal torture chamber as he realizes he can't contact his family back on Earth. Orange finds Red's personal diary filled with overwhelming guilt about leaving his sick, elderly mother behind on Earth alone. Red starts seeing his dead father's ghostly figure walking through the ship's empty hallways during the long, sleepless nights. The security cameras capture Red having detailed conversations with imaginary family members during the dark, lonely night shifts. White discovers Red has been secretly hoarding food supplies, believing his hungry children back on Earth desperately need it. Red's precious family memories begin mixing dangerously with reality as his sanity slowly deteriorates completely in the isolation. The crew finally realizes Red has been deliberately sabotaging critical missions in his desperate attempts to return home to family. Red floats peacefully in the vast emptiness of space, finally reunited with his loving family in his final moments. Red crewmate looks at his list of achievements with doubt. He cannot believe he deserved a place on this important space mission. Blue praises Red for excellent work in the reactor. Red looks away, thinking it was just luck, not his skills. Green and Yellow discuss complex technical tasks. Red listens silently, feeling stupid and unprepared compared to them. Red stands before the mirror in medbay. He sees in the reflection not an astronaut, but an ordinary person who fooled everyone and got here by accident. During the meeting, Red is afraid to voice his opinion. He is sure everyone will realize he doesn't understand space technology. Purple asks Red to lead an important operation. Red panics, thinking he will let the whole team down and expose his incompetence. Red begins avoiding complex tasks. He only does simple work, fearing that a mistake will reveal him as a fraud. Other crew members notice Red's strange behavior. He becomes withdrawn and constantly apologizes for every action. Red doesn't sleep at night, tormented by thoughts that soon everyone will know the truth. He imagines being thrown out of the ship into open space. White tries to support Red, but he doesn't believe the compliments. Red thinks everyone just pities him or doesn't see his true inability. Red completely isolates himself from the team. He spends days in his quarters, considering himself unworthy to be near real professionals and heroes.